Dear ones, we receive a lot of letters from you, and sometimes you ask very wise, spiritual questions. And that is why today, let us talk about angels and trolls. In each of us live two beginnings. One, so bright, elevated, inspiring, and we call it the inner angel. But the other, dark, negative, criticizing, and we call it the troll. If you look around, you will easily see what is manifested in people. Someone smiles, supports in difficulties, always laughs. This is a person in whom the angel is always manifested. And there is such a person, always dissatisfied, everything is wrong, everywhere a trick, criticizes everything, even goodness. In this person, the troll is manifested very strongly. Look, we even now call these people trolls. There are so many of them on the internet today. And trolls have one task: to sting, to pour out dirt, and from this, to get some kind of negative energy. But in essence, these are dark forces that act through a person in this way. And we, as spiritual people, must understand, what forces am I letting pass through myself now, light or dark? After all, inside us, there are both the troll and the angel. When I give thanks, support, help someone, smile, rejoice, I support the angel inside myself. But when we get irritated, criticize, are dissatisfied, constantly treat everyone negatively, this is when I feed the troll inside myself. Once again, let us think. The troll and the angel are two roles that exist within us. Which one am I feeding more in myself? And now look, everything bright and spiritual is always, most of all, subjected to the criticism of trolls. Why? Why were prophets and teachers always criticized in history? Why do new spiritual movements always fall under enormous criticism? Even a simple prayer provokes mockery. Why is that? Because the troll inside a person cannot bear the light. It feeds on dirt, gossip, accusations. And when we see on the internet that someone writes nasty things under good news, under spiritual projects, we must understand this is not the truth. This is just the inner troll of the person coming to the surface and gathering energy. And now let us think. What is a sect in the truest sense? We have already heard this word often. It is now very often used to insult and humiliate spiritual teachings. But if we look closely, the real sectarian signs are not among spiritual people who simply pray, sing, and do good deeds. In fact, we will see that there are many signs of a sect in the state, in the army, in the church. Look, there is strict hierarchy. It is simply forbidden to criticize the chief or the leader. Blind obedience is required, and their rules are imposed even against the will of the majority. And history shows that states, more than once, make decisions against the will of their citizens. Just remember, people were against raising the retirement age, but the decision was made anyway. Are these not the signs of a huge sect? Whereas small spiritual groups who sing songs and pray in silence often become the object of persecution simply because they disturb the huge big sect. What is a sect, really? Let us look through the eyes of a sociologist. The classical definition of a sect in sociology includes several signs: the presence of strict hierarchy, an infallible leader, control over people's consciousness, isolation from society, financial extortion, and the suppression of criticism. And now, a tricky question. Which structure in the history of humanity most often fits this description? Dogmatism? Infallibility. That is any totalitarian regime, from Nazi Germany to some modern states. They elevate their leaders to the rank of deities and their ideology to the status of absolute truth that does not tolerate any criticism. There is total control and isolation. The clearest example is the Iron Curtain. The state strictly controlled all information, isolating citizens from the corrupting influence of the West. Financial extortion? This is precisely the tax system, which works not in the interests of the majority, but only in the interests of a narrow group. That's exactly the same kind of extortion. And history is full of such examples. And we see when large state entities display all the signs of a totalitarian sect, destroying any dissent and demanding nothing but blind worship. And a simple Krishna devotee who sings a mantra in the park harms no one but only brings joy to the public. But the system that imposes its will by force on millions, that is the true source of destruction. Let us now do a practice of casting out the inner troll and strengthening our angel. Please take several deep breaths in and out. And with each exhale, we begin to go deeper inside ourselves. Our thoughts calm down, the breathing becomes steady, the heart beats evenly. You close your eyes and immerse yourself in the contemplation of the inner world. And inside, let us see our troll. Let us see what he looks like, how gloomy and dissatisfied he is, what voice he uses to criticize, how he manifests himself. For him, everything is always bad. And in the moment when you are now contemplating this inner troll, you may feel how he from within controls the expressions of our facial muscles, how he controls the vibrations of the voice. You can clearly recall many situations when this troll came to the surface inside, controlling our body, our emotions, our reactions. And in that second, we might even have hurt our own close ones, simply because the troll was controlling us. Now you see him. You see how he tries to manifest his power and control your life. But you feel, this troll is not me. Take a breath, and with a deep, conscious exhale, push the troll away from yourself. This is not me. You cannot control me. I release you. Take a few more deep exhales, removing him from yourself, dissolving him, dispersing his image, dispersing his influence. We are removing from ourselves this image of the troll. If more time is needed, take a few more exhales and try to breathe out the feeling of the troll from within completely so that the image dissolves. And then let us take one more deep inhale and exhale and see inside ourselves our inner angel. Look at how beautiful he is, smiling, his face shining, his eyes radiating with energy. The vibration of his voice is so heartfelt, harmonious, so full of soul, and immediately he enters into his power, manifests inside you, and you feel he fills all the inner space with light. And right now, you want to jump up, run, support someone, praise, embrace, say, "You will succeed. Let's go to the event. It is so wonderful there." You feel how, from within the light of the angel, changes your appearance, the radiance of the eyes, the gestures of the hands, the posture of the body. And now, look at the angel and say to him, I choose you. I keep you inside my heart, my soul. I choose you. And now, allow your angel more and more to manifest his warmth, love, joy, gratitude, and prayer. And practice this exercise every day. Please strengthen your angel within. And if the troll appears again, he is fed somewhere on messages in social networks, on the internet, has received energy from someone else again. A person stood next to you with negative, judgmental words and thoughts. Then do this exercise again and remove the troll from your inner world. Because this is happening inside you, which means you can do everything, you can simply remove him. Do this practice every day. Let us now sum up. We cannot completely get rid of the troll. It exists in each of us. But we can decide to whom to give more attention. If there is more of the angel in us, then we become a source of light, and then no darkness can destroy us. But if there is more of the troll in us, we ourselves become guides of darkness, and we may not even notice it. That is why the main choice of every day is to be a troll or to be an angel. And if we choose the angel inside ourselves, we will be able to help the people around us. We will be able to completely gain control of our own inner troll. And most importantly, to help other people around us also choose the angelic nature. We are now living in a very important moment of time. When you come to our event, you will learn about all the important astrological parameters of this time, which planets are influencing us now, and how they influence. But absolutely, all astrologers, all spiritual leaders are now saying, this is a time of change. This is a time of forming a new perception of the world, a new world order. And as we showed in our animated masterpieces, in the animated masterpiece Mystery, an untold story of love, do you remember the episode Culture? How clearly and precisely it is shown there what we are leading the disciples to, what kind of culture we would like to create. This culture is now being strengthened by all aspects and cosmic influences. But the universe, God the Creator, can manifest this influence only through us. And surely you have noticed that there is a strong desire to express more positivity, a strong desire to positively oppose the total negativity that comes from society and from the mass media. That's right. That old culture, consumerist, negative, resists. But we are the forces, the little stars, the angels who can manifest a new culture in this world. Where to begin? Begin by rewatching the entire series Mystery, an untold story of love, carefully and very deeply. Already from this point of view, that through this series, we cultivate the right positive attitude. Even Alice, who found herself in the hardest situation, learned to keep positivity. And that is exactly why she received healing so quickly and rose from the wheelchair. Watch everything from beginning to end, when our main characters even faced criticism in that very trolling. Do you remember episode 12, when there was a newspaper article and the whole spiritual movement, Field of Love, was completely covered with dirt? And how did they act? Of course, they stood up in defense of the knowledge, but they did not criticize, hate, or manifest the quality of the troll. But on the contrary, they defended the truth of the angels, the light of the teaching, the field of love. And you also, having watched the entire series, can see for yourself that this is an example of behavior in different situations. Let us carry this culture into the world. It is in our power. It is we who are now creating history. And accept great gratitude for watching all the videos, following the advice, reading the books, and coming to the events. The events now are the center of creating a new culture. Therefore, we are waiting for you at our next event. And if you have not yet been with us, write quickly and we will send you an invitation. Come and let us truly create the history of the modern world together.
In our extreme times, when the fate of the entire planet is at stake, it is crucial for the knowledge of angels and benevolent spirits to spread as quickly as possible, globally, and reach thousands of people. In this way, we can change the future of all humanity. Which is why we are addressing you, dear soul of light. Spread the knowledge about our wise books and films. Share links to videos or cartoons. All of this is available and free. Invite women to individual practices, webinars, and seminars. And the Great Spirit of Light will help you and your family. It will direct an enormous amount of energy to fulfill all your desires. Benevolent spirits and angels will assist you and your loved ones in all matters. A thread of light and love extends from your heart to the hearts of thirsty women, and the creation of good and the dissemination of enlightened knowledge throughout the world begins. Become part of the mission of light. Help people, and God will help you.